The Fans is the #1 sponsor in battle rap. My name is Frank White, and I probably contributed to some of your favorite battles. I mean, in the last 4 years, I donated $222,000 to battle rap for the culture. Check out We the Fans Global on Instagram for the full catalog of battles I sponsor. And follow We the Fans Global on YouTube to watch full battle breakdowns from a sponsor's perspective and a recommendation for what battles should be booked next. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and keep stepping into your greatness. We the Fans is for the culture.
We are here, June 6th, Public Influence Battle League, Rocks Royal Rumble. I got to introduce the most intelligent minds in battle rap. We got Jay Smo here, and we got M. Lang. M. Lang, how you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I feel like I'm looking forward to some battles. We're getting outside 7 drops so far from what I've seen. I've enjoyed those battles too. T-Top's card is dropping too, so I think we're getting back into the action. It felt like there's a little bit of a dry spot preceding the Just Business card. I'm kind of glad that we're getting back to like some battles consistently coming out.
Same. Schmo, where you at with it?
I like battle rap, man. I think this card is solid. I think that there's really 2 battles that I think hold weight. There's some other cool matchups, but it's that's enough for me. You know what I mean? It's going to have a card that has some meaningful impact, and of course, like I don't love any oversaturation, but at the same time, I felt like the last couple of months, like it was like barren land, which is kind of a good thing though. Maybe we got to be able to miss the game again. Maybe it is kind of, even though we're used to it, can be content overload. But it makes it more exciting now. Like even a card like this that's not like popping off the paper, I'm more excited because I haven't gotten as much battle rap recently. So
I agree. The first battle, obviously, I'm sure we're not all super familiar with it. Well, I'll speak for myself. I have only seen K2 one time, but I've seen Vino Collins a few times. Vino Collins, I think, is dope. I do have him winning this battle. Gentlemen, is there anything I want to say about that battle? We'll start with Schmo.
I've definitely seen their names on flyers before, but I'm not sure I've seen either of them rap. So I can't really say much about the battle.
Okay, Lane,
Yeah.
where you at with?
I would be in a similar boat. Like I've seen Vino Collins a couple of times actually. K2 not so much. So I won't give an opinion per se, but I would say I'm interested in seeing how they handle being like the opener of the card. And I think it would be a good opportunity for both of them to kind of make a pretty good impression. So
I agree. And that's what kind of those opening slots are for the people to make those impressions. So if you're one of those people that's opening the card, watch this and know that we're looking forward to discovering your talent. So be at your best on these big cards. This next battle, I got to preface it by telling Schmo it's pronounced Fatx, like it's a S. I watch your blog. It's a great blog. It's Fatx, yeah, F-A-T-S. But the X there, just such a terrible way to spell his name. But I do enjoy both of these talents. I'm a big fan of Ghostt, and I think Fatx is making his gradual ascension in battle rap. He got mollywopped by Geechee and then got it together. And I saw him on iBattle. He did his numbers against Glowman. I thought he was very good there. And he's had a couple other showings against Jack on Public Influence where he was good too. But I got Ghostt 2-1, man. Ghostt is a monster. I'm a big fan of Ghostt. Lang, where you at with it?
I also got Ghost 2-1. I think that it's very easy for me to go that route because I still feel like he has like a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, partially due to Smo on the lowest of keys too. But Smo irritates everybody. That's nothing new. But I think for someone like Ghost who's looking to ascend and climb his way up the ladder in terms of like the new prospects, he needs to handle business here. And I feel like it's not enough for him to just win. He has to kind of show great separation. But I got to win in 2-1 though.
Agree. Smo, where you at? Ghostt versus Fatx.
Yeah, I got Ghostt 2-1. I think they're both dope. Neither I've seen, I think, are like crazy, but I think they're dope. And then I believe, obviously, I know Ghostt is Ohio talent. Is Fatx? That's what we're going with.
Also, yeah, Fatx. He's also Ohio talent.
Right. But he's an Ohio talent. So it's like you're also going to have kind of the home. And it's a good place for a battle like that because they are newer talents that have had some success, some motion. So when you have a card like this that has a couple battles that people are definitely going to come to watch, I think kind of what we were saying about Vino versus K2, but to a higher level with talents that I have more confidence in. I've watched, I have some respect for, contrary to what Ghostt probably thinks. But I think they'll have a pretty good battle. And Ghostt is a little more animated, more energy. Earlier in the night, I think it's easier to bark on someone. There's all that energy in the building, that momentum to be swayed. You don't have to earn the crowd as much. And I think his style is just a little bit more conducive to take the room from him. So
A great. I do want to say one thing to Ghostt. Unless it's like a legacy battle, moving forward, I don't really want to see him battling at home anymore. We've seen that a few times. He's been great during those showings, but I do want to see him more on the road. He did great. You know, he did good against P Black. But yeah, I think like if it's a legacy battle, definitely take it in Ohio. But anything other than that, stay out of Ohio, my boy. We got to see you fight. You know what I mean? But I am rooting for you. Goes 2-1 for sure. Next battle, Shooney the Rapper versus Aeon Moore. I'm gonna start with Lang. Lang, where we at with this battle?
I like this battle. I honestly think this is a great precursor into the uh Eon and Vixen battle that should happen somewhere down the line. I don't know if it'll happen this year per se, but I feel like there is traction behind it. I feel like out of like all the lady versus lady matchups, that one probably has like the most buzz behind it as of right now. Partially because like obviously the Midwest thing, them going back and forth, but then also like they're both going to be ranked pretty high when it comes to the Wody conversation too. So I just think that there's a great build behind that. But there's a great build behind this battle too. Um,
Dun, dun,
in
dun.
terms of a winner,
Mhm.
I hate going against my region, but I'm gonna go Shooney 2-1 edge. Slight edge. Um, I just think that Shooney is just the more polished act. I think that I think if she beats Shooney clear, then that would just add fuel to the fire for the Vixen in her matchup. But I just think that Shooney's just a little bit more aggressive. Her projection is crazy. Just her ability to capture the crowd too. Eon being in the Midwest, you know what I'm saying, that's going to help out tremendously in terms of like a morale and energy perspective. But um, I'm just comfortable picking Shooney 2-1 in this matchup. I think for some reason I feel like Shooney puts it together against like the battlers that are beneath her or maybe like a status below her. Like I think one of her better performances she had last year was against Shay Rack, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't know why she has pride and honestly I remember when she took on C3 when C3 was like flaming hot and completely stopped her in the track. So I don't know why that's a thing for her. It's like having her best performances against like the up and coming ladies, but that's just what she does. So I'm gonna go Shooney the Rapper 2-1.
I'm not mad at that. Smo, where you at?
Yeah, I'm going Shooney 2-1 too. I'm not really sure I could say anything that Lang didn't cover, to be honest with you, because Aeon, out of like newer era ladies, has shown promise. That's why she's battled Coffees and Shoonies and so on and so forth. But I feel like while she'll do a lot of like really good or a highlight one night, the steady consistency or big moment consistency hasn't been there to make her undeniable, where then she becomes a draw within herself. She's still on the side of like these battles building up her profile until she's kind of her own mainstay or has some signature wins in this moment. It's definitely not impossible, especially like not a home game per se, but like being in the Midwest. But you have to, you're in a more prove it situation than a Shooney, who even with her history of choking as well, has wins and losses in all types of alleys. But that's what you get when you're like a legend in the game, so it's just easier to bet on someone that's more battle tested in all types of these matchups. So, and I don't think Shooney has like a ton of battles coming up. Maybe I'm not too familiar with Shooney's schedule right now, but especially if she doesn't have back-to-back battles, she should be locked in. So I'm gonna go Shooney.
Well, it's funny you say that. She does have Eliza Versa at the end of the month in June, so her schedule is definitely tough. But I believe in Shooney, and I think Shooney's very competitive when it comes to the up and comers, like y'all highlighted. But Aeon is a fighter. Aeon is a fighter. I think her and Coffee was such a great battle last year. I'm looking to see that level from Aeon. But I too have Shooney 2-1. So salute to Aeon, love her to death. Hopefully she proves us wrong. But yeah, it's looking like Shooney 2-1. Next battle, I'm gonna let Schmo kick this off. Chilla Jones versus Bizzo Bond. Schmo, where you at with this battle?
Oh, why are you laughing?
I'm just interested to hear your thoughts.
Listen, I think that these guys are both talented. I think we're talking about one of the greatest writers, if not debatably the best pen of all time. It's a different conversation for another day. But with Chilla Jones, and then Bizzo is obviously one of the best in the UK. So just in terms of pure talent, like there's good writing to be had here. I do think that this battle will have the pace of 2000s basketball. I think it's going to be, and I think that is the one detriment when you put two guys against each other that have not just similar, emphasis, but similar like flaws. And I could see this being could be a dreary battle. They have the potential to have a really good battle too, but really, if you just look at their tape recently, particularly Chilla, who I have the utmost respect for, and I could go on and on about how I feel about him legacy wise, but he's past his prime right now. And I don't think he's focused on battle rap, the rap battling part, as much as what he's doing with TBL and everything that goes into that. I feel like he's even spoken on that. And it's clear he's moved into another chapter of his career, which a lot of battlers don't do. They don't take a business approach. So I'm not mad at it, but I can't act like I haven't seen ever since, I'd say, like the EK battle, going back to them. I'm not saying he hasn't had good battles since then, but the last 3-4 years or so, it's a different Chilla than like the guy that won Champion of the Year. You know what I mean? And when you have battles like the Froze battle, and I had him beating Verb, but like the pace, like this is definitely him in like, it feels like 70% or like, and I don't know if a Bizzo plate is enough to like motivate him to like change out of that. You know what I mean? While for Bizzo, like it means, I said this in my own predictions, it means so much more for Bizzo to beat Chilla, like for Bizzo, than it does for Chilla to beat Bizzo. Doesn't mean he can't do it, because he's beat a bunch of people when he's the A side, and for the most part won throughout his career. I don't know. It's kind of a prove it moment where I feel like I'm just disappointed in his in the ring work recently. So I'm gonna go Bizzo 2-1. But a good Chilla is better, and maybe even much better than a good Bizzo Bond. So this battle, to me, it has very little to do with what Bizzo does, and a lot more with like what Chilla decides to do with it.
Okay, Lang, where you at with it?
Honestly, similar to previously, there's not much I can really say. I think Small hit it right on the head. I do feel like Chilla did show a little bit of promise in the Nun battle, which I actually thought that Nun was going to beat him, because I feel like Nun is on the lowest of keys, is like kind of found a way to kind of regarner his momentum or whatever. But like that was actually a battle where I feel like Chilla actually gave a really good performance. But yeah, I do feel like out of all the battles, this would probably be one of the more lethargic ones for most fans. I mean, I love this battle, but I'm not the majority. I'll keep it real in saying that. But I also will probably edge Bizzo 2-1. Chilla's gonna have to win like a couple more battles for me to like go back to my era of like just choosing him in every battle. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Bizzo, again, is a situation for him where like this heightens his profile. And I think ever since, the whole Tay-Rock comparison, he's been put on these collision courses against other top names. And I think that this is an opportunity for him to kind of show why he was considered that for whatever reason. Smo didn't like that very much, but but nonetheless, I do think that it's actually done a great thing in regards to him being put in like a different light. And I think him beating Chilla clearly on this card would help out tremendously. But I'm going Bizzo 2-1. But Chilla could very easily win this battle, especially if he's on his A game like the Nun performance.
Okay, I'm gonna turn up for a second. Chilla Jones, you are champion of the year. You run a school teaching lyricism. I personally have you losing to Froze. I have you losing to A Verb. I have not seen the Chilla that I thought was a monster since Sean. Chilla to battle Sean, the Chilla to battle Twerk, the Chilla to battle JC. Like, come on, Chilla Jones. You have a standard to maintain. You're a champion of the year. We can never take that away from you. One of the best writers. We can never take that away from you. But you have been on cruise control for a while now. And you got to step up, bro. There's no way you're running a school of lyricism and you're out here at 65% in all these battles. That's just ridiculous. So Chilla, show us who you really are. Like, show this new generation why you're so revered. Chilla versus Daylight, one of the amazing battle. Like, come on, Chilla. We need those again. With that said, I am a huge Bizzo Bond fan. The former premier champion, Bizzo came out here cooking stuff against Appa. Bizzo been doing this thing all over the world. Him and Jazz had a goodie. In Bizzo we trust, man. In Bizzo we trust. This is your Tom Bizzo. You get a win over Chilla Jones. It's going to look beautiful on your resume. Do not let the UK down, Bizzo. We rooting for you. Bizzo Bond 2-1.
A Verb did not beat no fucking Chilla Jones.
I had Verb. But Chilla Jones is such an incredible talent. You know what I'm saying? And he's just done so many monumental battles that it's like we need that back. We need the Chilla that was out here smoking shit to show these new kids who he really is. Because a lot of people sleep on Chilla. Chilla sleep on Chilla.
Battle. I mean, and he is battling less, but I don't know. I almost thought he'd be more pickier with the matchups. Like some battles I get, like him battling Red on URL. Him and Klutz. I know we're going back. But yeah, like these pen heavy or like Fonz. I still kind of want Chilla and Fonz at some point. Chilla and Av. I remember that was on a flyer once. Who the fuck knows what happened? But like I thought I'd see him pickier. So when he like pops out and like all the like, and these are good talents in their own right. But like None and Bizzo, I didn't think these would be matchups that he would entertain while doing like the TBL thing as well. But I'm not mad at it. If it's a good battle, it's more good raps.
Yeah, Chilla, show these people remind these people who you are. And then Bizzo, introduce yourself to these people. This is a great time to turn up. You took a nasty loss with the Dunch battle. It is what it is. True champions take losses and bounce back. This is your time to bounce back. And hopefully you learn some stuff from the Dunch battle. It's going to help you with this battle. All right, moving right along. This next one is a blockbuster. I'm sorry, but when I saw this on the flyer, I was like, what the Charron versus Chess. This is something that you could see on the URL stage. Like if they booked this for Summer Madness, I would have been super hyped. Like Charron versus Chess is action packed. It would have been major on KOTD, URL, you name it. This is a major battle. Charron is in his prime. We talk about people being out of their prime. Charron is in his prime. So many wins. Just a phenomenal talent. I'm such a huge fan of Charron. And Chess seems to have found a second wind, although he's going way beyond time limits in these battles.
Might have found a third win, maybe a fourth win with these 12 minutes.
He's he beat Drugs. I had him beating A-Ward. I think Chess is really doing his thing out here, and I'm happy to see him doing his thing. And so this is going to be a goodie. I'm very interested to see what Chess says to Charron. It's very close to the A-Ward battle, so I'm a little nervous about that. But it was a reschedule, so perhaps he already had those rounds locked in for some time. But yeah, I think I got Charron 2-1, man. Charron don't be losing like that, man. And Charron we trust. Let's keep it tall. Lang, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Chess is going to get someone that raps really long too. So that's actually it might end up being an extremely long battle. But I personally also have Charron 2-1. I do think the short prep thing does matter. Like even with Chess having like his rounds already prepared for A-Ward, I do think him having that extra time just to like go over his raps is just an important thing. And like I think he has good momentum right now with the back-to-back wins, but I'm not going to sit and act like he's not that like he's far removed from like what happened with him and J2 just the back end of last year where he completely and Chess is usually like a person that's kind of due for that. It will have two great performances and then out of nowhere just completely like loses like all bearings, you know what I'm saying? So I got Charron 2-1. And truthfully, I feel like Charron wasn't really happy about the reception between like for him and the disaster battle. That battle was more of a talking point of like the battle being too long versus the actual material that he brought, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he'll probably take that out on Chess. So I can comfortably say we'll get like a pretty good Charron performance this time around. So I got Charron 2-1.
Okay, Smo, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I got Charron 2-1 as well. I will say, I'm not like, what can I say about Charron that we haven't said the last like 10 times we talked about Charron? So obviously we know like the imminent danger. He is one of the most dangerous alive right now. But with Chess, it is good to see him back kind of in a good space. Is it like a 2-3 battle stretch? Like, yes, but that's, it's been hard to get in any battle stretch from him. And at the end of the day, for how much he's fucked up. And I don't know if there's anyone that's fucked up as much as Chess in terms of opportunities given, but he's young, bro. Like this is still a guy that could battle rap for like 10 years forward at the highest level. And if he really got his shit together, like matchups like Chess versus any god tiers he wants, like a Chess and Hitman right now sounds silly as a Chess. But like there's no reason because of his talent that Chess and Hitman shouldn't be like a blockbuster you could book to the same level of a Twerk and Hitman, or you go on and so forth, Chess versus Lux, etc. But we're getting something. It's unfortunate though that it is coming with this like time, like just like torture, like time hostage situation. Because like I have him beating A Ward pretty clear, to be honest with you, and I have him beating Drugs. And I am a believer. He's been saying this, and sometimes he does a little bit too much, I feel. But he said if I cut my time around when they rap like their amount of time, I still would have won that battle. I definitely agree with Drugs, and I agree with A Ward. I think he would have won the second and the third with 5-minute rounds. So why do I have to listen to 5 more minutes of like throwaways and things you just didn't scratch off? And it just kills the replay value, dude. A Ward and Chess is an important battle. It's pretty objectively a good battle. I'd have no interest in rewatching it. I have no interest in rewatching any battle that gets 50 minutes or over, unless you are the biggest dog battles, Lux and Mook, and all right, you know, because you want to. I get it, but I hate the normalization of hour-long battles, bro. Nobody's trying to watch that shit for real, and nobody has the attention span for the layered amount of writing that you guys are doing. So I'm kind of worried, like Lang said, if they both decide to rap 7-8 minutes, this is going to be a battle that we'll call live, call winner, maybe it'll be debatable, and I'll probably never watch it again. So I really hope, and pull Charron, dude, from fucking like the frying pan to skillet. You know what I'm saying? From however it goes, from disaster to fucking chest. This guy's been doing a lot of listening in his last few battles. But I think he's going to just have better content. So
okay, Lang.
I already gave my
my brain.
Thing, Chess back weeks battling. I know he's had a long time. They've been booked, and Ward was a pushback battle, so I'm sure that's been ready. But I know it's hard, even if you had 4 months prep for one battle, to balance like rapping 3 rounds live and then going to rap for a whole other person, memorizing that at the same time. That's tough, and of course that he's susceptible to that. So let's see if he pulls it off.
Good point. Headliner. I'm going to preface this by saying that Shotty Horroh, in my book, not anybody else's, is up there with Lux and Mook for me personally. I think Tony D and Shotty Horroh are Lux and Mook for me. I think Shotty is such an incredible talent to me. One of the greatest writers, excellent puncher, just all-round incredible talent. I think he's just exceptional. On paper, it does not make sense for him to be battling Yunus right now, but Yunus is, you know, our Spaces baby. He's our favorite, and any big plates that he gets, we're going to be happy for and support. So with all of that,
he's an hour, and I'm not calling him.
It was a couple things he said that I wasn't gonna co-sign either, but I wasn't trying to interrupt.
We don't all gotta agree on everything, but don't put me in the hour. I did not call you that, Yunus.
Our Twitter Spaces, maybe our EFM those days, We the Fans days, but Yunus is an incredible talent, and he does, oddly enough, he does so much better against names than he does against his own class. And I think that we're going to see an incredible performance here. You know, Yunus is the reason why I do what I do. So I heard him rap and start sponsoring. So I'm always say that and just tell you how much I believe in Yunus, and I think he's an incredible talent. With that said, it's Shotty Horroh, man. It's Shotty Horroh, man. I got Shotty 2-1. That's Shotty Horroh. That's the Shotty that battled Math, the Shotty that battled John, the Shotty that battled Shuffle T, the Shotty that battled Arsenal, the Shotty that battled Hitman. Like, come on, I could go on and on about Shotty Horroh's incredible resume. The man that battled Tony D, like, Shotty Horroh is the GOAT, greatest of all time. The floor is yours, Lang.
You said a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily agree with, but what I will say is that, like, I'm a person that really do appreciate the work Shotty Horroh has done. I do think that he's a major pillar in battle rap, and I'm extremely pleased that he's reminded a lot of people, because you got to think, battle rap has went through so many phases, like from the YouTube era, like pre-2015, to like a different kind of era from 2016 to like 2019, the app era, so on and so forth. So there's a whole fan base of people that don't understand the significance of a Shotty Horroh battle. And for him to kind of come into this situation and start having great battles with other legends, Shine, Geechee, and even though I had him losing to Rock, I didn't think it was a terrible look for him. Like, I didn't think he got completely outclassed. I just thought that he lost. A lot of people lose to Rock. This is a battle where I think Shotty is going to try to show Yunus the ropes. And I honestly think that this is a trap game for Shotty, if I'm being real, because you got to think a lot of these matchups, Shotty is like battling with his back against the wall. He's going in as the underdog or not the favorite. So he has that a little bit more venom in his pen. Like he's like, all right, I got to prove why I'm one of them. Against Yunus, it's more of like, okay, like I'm giving a shot. And we know the energy is a little bit different in that regard. And then on Yunus' end, it's like he's coming off of like a major loss to King, right? And if I know anything about Yunus, Yunus doesn't really lose battles back to back. Like if he loses that very next battle, he's back on his bullshit, like usually. So I honestly have Yunus 2-1 in this battle. I feel like he's gonna be hella motivated. I think that he's gonna be more explosive. And yeah, I just see a little bit more motivation coming out of Yunus in this battle. So I got Yunus 2-1.
Okay. The floor is yours, good sir.
Yeah, I got Yunus 2-1 as well. And it's always with Yunus, it's kind of the situations he specializes in. Versus his class, that's where he's taking it. Feels like his more noticeable lumps, even though he's got some, the Klutz win was big. But it's when he battles vets and legends, it just clearly brings out the most motivated version of him, and listen, I mean, if Shotty wins, it's Shotty Horroh. I'd actually say he's probably the favorite. I don't know. I haven't really seen everyone. I haven't seen how many people talk about this card, but I would say that most people would pick him. But I didn't really like either of their last showings like that. I thought Shotty choked away the battle versus Rock. And I think even the material they got out, that was just an underwhelming battle. That just wasn't a very, very good battle. And I think that's one that's because it wasn't booked in the window that it really should have happened. And then you have Yunus obviously coming off of the King battle, which I'm sure that he has the utmost, like I'm sure both have motivation to bounce back, but how does it not mean more to a talent like Yunus that's like this close to like breaking through to full on like top tier stardom and just has to start showing some consistency, like the few flaws in his game, the few last doubters, at patching things up. A Shotty win, a King loss was tough. A Shotty win is a good way to kind of like mask that up. I think that a lot of their like similarities will be emphasized here. I mean, Yunus is like surprisingly angleable for a new guy. There's like a lot of different approaches you can take. But if it's like a pen for pen battle, which it very well could be with Shotty giving a shot, I don't think he's just going to have 3 rounds of angling. Like Yunus could really write with him. Like I don't think that that's like crazy to think of at all. It's a strong suit. And and to address Shotty, that move, like I get what you're saying. Maybe Mook and Lux and Shotty. I wouldn't say by skill wise or all time rank, but I get like he's the best of his country. He's a god where he reigns at, right? But I look at him not as like a flat out god tier, but there is a strong value in a Shotty plate, and that's why it's kind of surprising Yunus is getting it. And then the optics of it after a loss, like it's not like Mook and Lux, but I always say there's guys like Calicoe and Goods that I wouldn't consider the level of Mook and Lux, but still like they step out very rarely. They make you earn them as a battle. And I think that's why some people, Shotty kind of moves like that. And I think that's why people were shocked that he took this. But it goes to show, man, I'm sure that he had a say in this. Like, he said yes. So obviously he's motivated. And I think he wants to, put a spotlight on Yunus with this. And I think that's what he's going to do. And I just think that he's going to lose the battle too. But I think it'll be close.
Wow. So I'm the only one that got Shotty hard.
That's crazy to think. And it almost feels unearned because of what's been happening. But I just think Yunus is so situational. And every time he battles it, like he just doesn't have the same trouble battling legends and vets. Battling mid-tiers and other hungry new guys, there's more friction there. But when he's battling fucking Arsenal and Miss Hustle and JC and Nitty and etc., am I saying he's just winning all these battles? No. I think some are debatable. I have him on the losing side, but he's not like scared of the moment. He's not overthinking it, and he's usually having his best showings. So I just think that this is going to be a product of that.
Why is it crazy for me to say that Shotty Horroh is like up there with Mook and Lux when you look at what he's done for his region? Like the numbers show.
Doing something for your region and like being like what Mook and Lux have done for just the sport of battle rap as a whole just isn't the same thing. You can be the best of your sector, but these guys might be the 2 best ever that help create everything and still give us the biggest battles and some of the most classic performances as of recently today. This guy doesn't have fucking Mook rock rounds in his catalog, bro. He doesn't have Mook and Hitman whoopings like that are gonna echo throughout battle rap history. I mean, he's got the Arsenal battle.
He didn't 30 Daylight. He didn't 30 Daylight.
No, he did, and he's very good. But 30 and Daylight,
he's saying
Daylight is not that like that's a pull. Like we as battle rap fans know that battle happened. He got 100,000 views, but it's been a while. Most people know. What'd you say?
He didn't beat Hitman clear.
He did, but once again, you got to be tapped in, bro. Like when Mook beat Hitman, it reshapes the sport a little bit. Like Shotty doesn't reshape the sport with like his moves like that. And that's not to downplay him, but you're comparing him to all the way up here. So I have to kind of show the levels between like how much like their DNA means to the overall sport of battle rap. It's just not the same. And the Tony D one is disrespectful to even put him in the same breath as those two. But I just don't want to do that right now.
No, that's crazy to say. But what?
How I was gonna say because I was gonna say the same thing. Like I feel like Tony D is a major figure, and I kind of didn't want to get into it because I felt like it was gonna like come off as slander, but. Everybody knows that Tony D is like wildly inconsistent, and I feel like there's even a major gap between Tony D and Shotty. Now, the reason why Shotty and Tony D was a huge deal back then was because it was Manchester versus London, and they were like the hugest people within that sector, right? And I still think Tony D is a legend. I still love him versus Bizzo Bond, but in the overall landscape of battle rap, Shotty for sure has more of a case of like status wise being in that conversation. But I think what Smo is alluding to is that, and I honestly kind of agree. I would say if we were having this conversation like 2013, 2014, then I think that the conversation was a little bit more, makes more sense. I do feel like the value of, or I wouldn't say the value, but I would say like the status between Shotty and then Mook and Lux has changed tremendously from then to now. I still think Shotty is a huge battler, but like I don't feel like it's as huge as a Lux and Mook return right now. Like 2014, 2015, that was a different conversation.
I don't think these are good either. Like let's just talk about their skill set. Like Lux is another best pen ever conversation. Mook is probably the best angler ever. Like these are different. Like their skill set shows too. Shotty is not, and Shotty is very fucking good. He's a legendary battle rapper. But him and Tony D the UK version of a Mook and Lux, I'm cool with that. But to actually equate them like they're equals, I feel like is ODM. I'm not gonna lie.
If you're an American battler and you got Daylight, Tay Rock, K-Shine, Geechee Gotti, Hitman, Math Hoffa, Arsenal, John, who else? The Disaster. Like if you have these names on your resume as an American battler, you're up there on the top greatest of all time list. The only reason why y'all don't do this with Shotty Horroh is because he's from the UK. But
Shotty, let me ask this question. Can I ask this question really quick? I think this. That's what I was gonna say. I think this would kind of determine a couple of things. Do you think Shotty Horroh is a top 10 battler of all time?
Right.
Top 10? That's tough.
Yes.
That's tough. Top 10 is tough.
Do you think Mook and Lux are?
Yes, of course.
So like this is what I'm saying. That doesn't mean that he's not one of the 20 greatest rappers of all time. I'm just saying like it's just people throw shit around too loosely, bro. He's not Mook or Lux. Like,
what Mook and Lux have done for, of course I can't say, of course he's gonna feel that way. But what Mook and Lux have done for us here is what he has done where he is, though.
Yes,
there's nobody
I agree with that.
What they, you know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that. And if I
were born over there, I would feel as though he's just, you know what I mean? Like,
he wasn't born over there, so I don't know why you're doing this.
because I'm able to put myself in those shoes and see all that he's accomplished and really take a look and say, this is an incredible resume. This is stellar performances. You won't find more than 2 bad Shotty Horroh performances. Like, this man is a legend. What he has accomplished, not only for his region, like, come on, we got to really look at that.
I think impact and contributions to battle rap is a very important thing, but sometimes I think in us trying to big that up so much, we kind of diminish the actual output and work in comparison. And I feel like we're not disputing his impact, influence, and contributions to the sport. We're just saying the overall output in regards to the actual work and as well as like actual distinctions. Like look at what Smo said. Like we consider Mook one of the best anglers of all time. We consider Lux one of the best riders of all time. Shotty Horroh is an amazing talent, but I don't really see him in those type of conversations.
Okay,
Like
let me ask you
again,
this.
we're not disputing contributions, impact, or skill set. We're just saying that we're just saying there's a disparity in the output itself. That's what we're
And that's
saying.
fair. That's fair. But let me ask you this. He's from the UK, came over here and beat Ars, Hitman, Geechee. Well, Geechee was over there. So Ars, Hitman, Daylight. Is there any US battler that has gone over there and done the equivalent?
You just
No.
well, I hate to do this, but you just mentioned that like the US has this, and this, right? So obviously we're saying that like the US has more of a tougher battling pool in the overall landscape of battle rap. So obviously,
American battlers going over there, they don't always have the clearest wins. They struggle over there. Gemini whooped on T-Top. Let me get Jazz and Bizzo. Jazz and Bizzo was like I still had Jazz, but it was a fight. You know what I'm saying? I had Jazz winning, but it was a fight. We can't name American battlers that are going over there and spanking shit the way Shotty Horroh is coming over here.
DNA has a pretty solid record over there.
British battlers? He went over there and battled Ars. That's not a British battler though.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like he's went over there and had like I get what you mean though, but at the same but at the same time you're a person. But here's the thing, no, but you can't do that because you're the same person that feel like there's certain battles that don't move the needle. I feel like a lot of the U.S. battlers coming over and battling people that may not necessarily be the creme de la creme of that sector, right? Like it doesn't really move the needle. So like say a battler does go over there and beat all of the people on Premier Battle League, like I don't know. I feel like we're getting into a conversation that's becoming slanderous, so I'm not even trying to go all the way there. But you know what you're doing. This is engagement that you're trying to do. I'm about to say you know exactly what you're doing.
I'm just passionate about my take, even if they're wild sounding.
I want to return what you said, but it's kind of to tag on what Lang said. The talent level is different, and that's why it's such a big deal for them to come battle. Like if we took the top 10 battle rappers from here, the top 10 battle rappers from the UK, it's just it looks crazy in comparison, especially right now. There was a time when there was top guys, though. What'd you say?
Why is he beating some of our top guys?
Gemini and T-Top, Gemini. I think the same weekend as another battle as the second battle. And do I think that's cool? Do I think it's fair? Because then it puts you in a situation where it's like, oh, you're just gonna say you didn't try, but I'm not gonna act like I didn't see what I saw. And there's no pressing reason, for these guys to come over. If Gemini comes over and gets rum nitty on a main stage, it's fucking life changing for you know what I'm saying for him. It's not like somebody popping over to battle Gemini.
Whoa. Who let this guy in here? Oh my God, who is this? Who is this? Is this Tru Foe?
What's up, man?
How you living, brother?
Lang, what up, man?
Chilling.
The guys that don't like me, man. What's the word?
You crazy. What's
the word? Lang, they say you from the Midwest, Lang, man, but I don't know.
Who said? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. What did I say on camera? That's what I'm saying. I didn't say nothing.
Shit. I'm talking.
I'm about to say you can't find no footage of me wilding.
I'm talking.
Let's jump right into the conversation since you crashed the party. Tru Foe, we recently saw in a blog you talking about wanting to battle Calicoe. And
let's not do that. I'm
sorry, did I misintroduce it? Please.
Calicoe got on and coached his daughter to call me out. He coached his sweet daughter, who I've never met, and said he wanted to battle. Let's make this Foe battle happen. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The solid one. Now, when I'm gonna do the work, I'm gonna say what I say, but he's interested in the battle. Yes, he is. And it's for a reason.
What's the reason?
And it's because I'm probably one of the most. I'm probably outside of Fonz. I'm the most respected Midwest battler, other than the top legend niggas.
Okay, stop right there. We're gonna make this a stat conversation. We're not gonna make it emotional or biased. We're just gonna stick to the stat. Lang, is that what he just said? Is that true?
One of the more respected newer era Midwest people.
aside from Fonz, is he the number one guy in the Midwest?
Well, let me ask this question because I feel like this is something I've always wanted to hear from like Midwest battlers themselves.
Yeah.
What do you guys exclude A-War from the conversation when it comes to Midwest battle rap?
I don't.
Okay.
But when it comes to like
go
new
ahead.
Midwest, so but it is a time where A-Ward may say he's repping Tennessee. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he say sometimes. But I look at him as a Midwest nigga. So it's been conversations like in Midwest groups. Is A-Ward, if we gonna include A-Ward, then I'm in the top 3. Me, Fonz, and A-Ward.
And then where does and then I hate to do this too, but where does Vixen come into play?
She a woman, so we kind of set that aside. Like she the best girl, but she in there too. So throw Vixen in there too. So that's the 4.
The Foe. J-Smo, do
So-
you concur?
Yeah, I think the only other name I could think of, and you could debate because the pedigree's not there, is King. But I think, I mean, like he's clearly on the way. You know, that's not.
We're
There's
just
not.
forgetting
King, shout out to my dog King, but his resume ain't nowhere near mine.
We're forgetting
Nah,
J2.
that's what I'm saying.
J2 out
It-
here.
I think-
J2 is out here doing his thing. We're not.
J2, we love you, bro, but it's to Atlanta, bro. Pause. I ain't got to pause the love. I love you, J2. I ain't got to pause the love.
Go ahead, Smo. What were you gonna say?
No, nothing. That's the one. But I'm not even mad at Foe's counterpoint because I kind of even said like there's a pedigree to it. You know, because it's one thing to be really good and get the push. Anyone that we'll talk about has had like the glow at one point in time. That's why they matter. But it's hard to do it for years. Like I think that's the hardest part to stay locked in and matter. A lot of guys have had a good 2 years in battle rap. We watched Joe light shit up for a couple months, but it's hard to be here 8 years and matter, bro.
Definitely,
Like
definitely.
I don't know. I
Definitely.
think we've seen J2 almost every time we've seen J2 on URL. He's been cooking.
Does he count? It's Indiana, so does he count himself? Like, does he rep Midwest? I don't, because I
Yeah,
didn't.
will.
I remember him and Fonz got into a conversation about like his influence in the Midwest, and like it's tough because I do feel like for some reason I do feel like he kind of resonates more as like an Atlanta artist, but like he does rep the Midwest though. If we're being,
Yeah, he repped the Midwest, but he got his start. He got his start in He got his start as a battler in it coming up on the Atlanta scene. You understand? He wasn't on them. He wasn't on Black Ice Cartel. He wasn't on Danger Zone Battle League. He wasn't hitting guerrilla warfare. He wasn't hitting. These wasn't the places he wasn't hitting. What the reason I can say I'm the new king of the Midwest, or I can raise that claim is because, and it don't get much pushback from if you a Midwest nigga. The only Midwest nigga gonna push back on it is a nigga like Fonz, or if Fonz won't push back on it because he gonna be like, that's my brother. Like, we did what we did. But I was going to battles in Cleveland, the battle on Bar for Bar Battle League. I was going to hit these. So these people in the Midwest, they see they get to see my like my come up. They're a part of that history that the greater audience of battle rap might not know.
Okay. Jason, I want to ask you, do the things that Tru Foe's been doing off of URL hold as much weight? Because it seemed to me like when he beat A-Ward, we didn't get too much coverage from media on that. What's your stance on that, Jason?
Yeah, we did. I think me and 3 both reviewed it, but I think that might be even the only ones that did. And I did. I think it's a debatable battle. And Grant, I do think there's a lot of people that got Ward. I personally got Foe winning the battle, but I agree. But that's kind of, that's the tougher thing with like smaller league battle rap, right? And I'm sure, especially regionally, it's easier to get a plate like that. You can hook up like an A-Ward and Tru Foe, and then he gives a good performance. But especially with a guy like Ward specifically, that then battles so much, and how many Ward battles have been lost in the fold over the years because of how much that he battles. It ends up being like a gem, and that's a good thing to have, like a battle rap gem. But if you want the push or the bigger plates in bigger spots, it's about being noticed too at the same time, and that's just the downfall of smaller leagues. So of course, if he has that same performance versus Ward on URL, it travels farther. That's the benefit of platforms.
Yeah, and I want to add to that really quick. Like, I remember, and Flo probably remembers this too. So like, we can talk about another Midwest battle that kind of went through the same thing. I remember when JC left URL in 2014, it took him like 2 or 3 years, like killing shit on RBE to get back on URL to even get a chance to be on SM. I don't
And
know
that's the
why that's.
template. That's the pardon me. That's the template I went on when. So like my URL run stops at the Ace battle. I got about 16 to 19 URL battles, somewhere in there. You feel me? So the Ace battle, boom. I ain't been back. I was just there in November in Battle Homely. November 25.
Mhm.
But between that time, I done battled
Got the
A
tournament run.
War.
Mhm.
The tournament is after Ace.
Well, I'm
The
just
Ace
saying.
battle is after the tournament.
Well, I'm just saying what you did before the Ace battle. Like you had great momentum up until that point. So I don't want to make it seem like you didn't do anything before then. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But it's
Yes.
like it seemed like when my resume, when I get brought up for any battles, even if it's like, oh, all they remember is the Ace battle or the Av battle. It don't, or the Geechee battle. Geechee, Ace, and Av are the battles that the
I'd say that's your staple URL win. Obviously, is no one. I don't think anyone really tapped in is going to remember he upset him, he won the battle and like everything. So
yeah.
Why is there that resistance though, J Smo? Why is it that that's all they remember?
The resistance. I mean, I just don't think some of the other work maybe popped the same, even though like it's good work. You know what I mean? Like he has a tourney run even before UM4. You know what I mean? Like where he beat Cheat in the first battle. But unfortunately, like let's go to the rematch. Like that was like a cool battle. Well, we can admit later in the tourney, preps harder, right? I don't feel like the first like Foe and Sheed battle was like too crazy. You get to the second battle, and Sheed has like an undeniable one of the best performances of his career. But that's what was special about what Foe did versus Gotti. Like people can do good. It's a lot. Everybody at this level, if we're talking about them, is rapping good from mid tier and up. I know Froze always says it like they're pros. So even if we crack joke shit in that, we make comparisons amongst them, that they're still pros in the league. They do this at a high level. But if you want to get the bigger plates, like because you're competing with everyone else's energy too. The same way you trying to draw fans, we all competing for the same fans. But the performances got to pop off the paper. So, Foe, one that you feel underrated that really should have popped off the paper. That's like, oh, why don't the people remember this battle from my URL one?
Yeah,
you know
but it seemed like that where it got to pop off the paper is selective for certain artists. You understand what I'm saying? Like certain like, and I'm one of them people where because I showed a flash of greatness, I always gotta show that greatness. You can't go to like for me, it seemed like I can't go to 10 and then be at 8. Not that I want to be at 8. It's just if that's how the performance is perceived. You feel me? Like that's how I perceive. Like one of the things in my career that I wouldn't have did after the Gotti battle, I wouldn't have took the Mac Mail battle. I still think that I won the Mac Mail battle. But consensus is not that I won the Mac Mail battle. You understand? And I believe the consensus is not that I won the Mac Mail battle because even though the Mac Mail material is good, it's not as great as the Geechee material. So it's like you had a debatable with Mac Mail, but you won against Gotti. They don't want to see that. If I would have did all over, I just would have not took the battle. The Mac Mail battle. I would have just
but even still, you had the old red battle that people was behind. So I don't feel like your momentum got completely derailed after that. I feel like, in fact,
I had to fight for that old red battle.
But
that was a fight. I had to fight for that. Yeah, that's the battle that had the allegedly bar. You feel me? The old red battle is one of my. I think that's a battle that I should get talked about more. I feel like I've hit a stage with old red.
That's a good example. I was at that Orlando Civil War 3. I remember that joint. I thought that battle would do more for me. Yeah, that's fair. But at the time, you continued. I mean, after that, you continued to get URL looks though. So I mean, it did more for you in the sense that, like, down the line though, like it's not like the plate stopped.
Yeah, but then no. I had my opportunities. It was just that I think the Gotti battle, that shit like a gift and a curse. The Gotti battle set a standard so high, and it's like anytime somebody see me rap, it's like, is he gonna be that? But that moment is so special. It's you can't really recreate that. You feel me? Like I don't know. It seems like I'm always fighting that Gotti performance, which is cool.
For every battle, yes. And nobody does it. Nobody, Hitman doesn't have, you know what I mean, the John battle every time he battles. Like there's
Yeah.
different standards that you can set with each battle. But I want to speak on going forward. Lang, what is a pathway the Tru Foe can take that will make sense to the consumer for him that lands him with the Calicoe battle? What's a pathway that makes sense to you? And the same question.
I personally feel like it's just a matter of stealing the attention and the I guess the energy from like other people that are buzzing right now. The easiest way to catapult somebody is beating someone that's the most talked about. Like one thing that we spoke about
I don't gotta do that to battle.
I'm not but like at the end of the day, I mean, if you want those kind of conversations, bro, like I genuinely feel like you have to beat the people that are like one of the more talked about people doing it right now. Like there's up and coming talent that I feel like you could beat, and like you may not feel like it'll do a lot for you, but it would do a lot for you from the standpoint of like just the attention you would garner. Like one person that we mentioned on camera was like, say you battle Klutz or whatever. Klutz is probably one of the highest like hottest prospects right now. If you mop him up, considering I'm just saying, if you mop him up and show clear separation, so I think that does a lot for you. Go ahead.
What would a Klutz battle do? I don't get it. Like what? I don't. Tru Foe and Klutz is more random than Tru Foe versus Klutz is more random than Tru Foe versus Calicoe. Way more random than that.
But I'm saying, like, from a standpoint,
me and Calicoe of building some suspense, I could talk shit. I could do a diss song. It's plenty I could do to hype up a Calicoe. I already got the resume. I don't have to go through Klutz to see Cal.
We're not talking about like resume. We're talking about the momentum behind the battle. That's the thing. It's like, in order to build momentum behind the battle, yes, you can do diss tracks. That will build a little bit of suspense. But in terms of actual activity in the ring, it's like if they see you mopping up people that are like talked about, and they mind you, right? You already be having people that they want to push, right? So like a Klutz, a Yunus, and those guys. Those are people that they want to push. The easiest way to like propel yourself past like those people is by kicking their ass. Like I've seen it plenty of times. Like
sport's so subjective, though.
Go ahead.
It's so subjective. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off like that. It's so subjective. You never know who they gonna say won or whatever. That's the same momentum. That's the same sentiment they gave me for the Mac Mill battle. You beat Mac Mill, you get on Summer Madness. Nigga, I thought I won. It's plenty of people thought I won.
I don't think no disrespect to Mac Mill. I don't think Mac Mill is in like the same like category or the same stature of where Klutz is now and those talents are now.
He's saying what he was told. So, although you may or may not be right, Lang, he's saying what he was told. You know what I mean?
What I was told, it was that. So that's what they played that game. Calicoe know that game. Me and Cal can create. I just battled Ill Will at the crib. We had a packed house. You feel me? We know how to. I mean, I guess, but I don't even see what the subject matter would be about with me versus Klutz or me versus like. What will we rap about? I don't have nothing to rap with Klutz about.
I want to get Schmo's take as well. Schmo, please, same question.
Particularly like those names, like you and Klutz is a horrific style matchup for both. Like it really in a weird way, and I think Klutz is popping right now. It weirdly doesn't benefit either of y'all, but that's kind of the problem matchmaking. Whether someone's more popping or whatever, if the match was weird enough, it just don't matter. But I feel like it's almost like two separate combos to be had in terms of like the cow plate, right? Because here's the reality with Calicoe. Calicoe is a plate that people build. Like he don't just battle to battle. He's one of them guys that'd be picky, it'd be energy. Him and Goods when he popped out, it was a lead up. Him and Swamp, how much work at the highest level was Swamp doing? And here's the thing: when he do step out and battle someone and it feels random, he completely throws the fight. He ain't give a fuck either time for his DNA. He got show off rapping to nothing. The show off just doing his solo up there, and that's not a situation you want to be caught up in either. If he don't,
I wouldn't be. He coached his daughter to say my name. He coached his.
We did. It got genetic.
Now look, J Smoke. This is where me and Cal got a story. We. It's not a random battle because when you in the Midwest, that's who the Midwest want to see me against. Calicoe. So when you ask Midwest niggas, they gonna tell you I want to see Foe and Cal. So it's more of a regional battle, and My whole claim to thing is now to go around and say I'm the Midwest King. So that's me creating energy. If a random nigga, if Gorilla Monsoon come out and say he the Midwest King, do you think he gonna get Calicoe to coach his daughter to say something about Tru Foe? No, he's not. He's not gonna do that. It's a reason why he. It's a reason why he stuck. He. You say what?
Just because he's making videos, like he's taking shots and maybe planting the seeds. Because style wise, if you can get the rank there and the star power momentum,
the rank there. The rank is there already, Smoke.
Okay, so let's talk about that rank thing,
regional thing, right? Hold up, you saying it's a regional thing, right? Yo, when is Calicoe been doing like regional matchups for the culture on a small league, bro? When does that happen?
I think the only time he did was Fonz all-rounder.
Exactly, and it happens when you want it. It happens when you make the battle make sense. The same reason why Ill Will. The same reason why Ill Will a battle Pain and not give a fuck and come and battle with Tru Foe and go crazy because he know better. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you battle me in the Midwest, it's different because because I done put the pain in here. When we talk about Midwest niggas, bro, especially coming from Chicago, bro, me and Fonz are the two Midwest niggas who went through small leagues in the Midwest that made it all the way to URL. It's just me and Fonz. There's some niggas now. There's some niggas now. You say what?
I said, wait, and by the way, somebody's mic going crazy. Y'all hear that too?
Mic going crazy.
It's mine. Let me change the headphones real quick.
Okay. While he does that, my next question to both of y'all, and I'll have Schmo go first. I need y'all to say two or really say the number of battles and suggestions of who he could battle to where it would make sense beyond just the Midwest, to where culturally it would make sense. People, the whole culture can see it. 2 to 3. Is the number 2 or 3? Let's start there. Is the number 2 or 3?
Well, I think that's a difficult question for real because I think
you announce Tru Foe versus my bad, Smoke.
No,
if you announce Tru Foe versus Calicoe right now, you're not gonna tell me people not gonna watch it.
Well, for the Midwest, it's gonna make all the sense in the world.
Yo, is somebody gonna watch it because it's a cow battle, but it ain't gonna move units like that, bro. Like,
we're talking about just culture-wide, and not just in the Midwest. It's gonna mean the most, but to get the entire culture involved, it's a different thing because of perception of the culture versus the reality of the region. And that's what I'm asking is, fellas, for the perception of the culture, is it 2 battles? Is it 3 battles? And then what kinds of battles are they to where he ends the run with Calicoe and it makes sense? Yeah, and I'm gonna start with Foe.
Yeah, it's so many different paths to success. Like, who knows? Like, Foe can end up scoring like a big plate. Like, I know this is probably not going to happen, but God forbid, like Young L come back, he get a return battle with Young L, and then like it take 1 battle, or maybe he battled 3 guys and they build a momentum, and he's popping his shit and promoting at the highest level, irritating Cal. So I ain't finna sit here and be like, oh, there's 5 battle plans to get someone back. But I do think that there's different routes. If he was to take the route of like battling up to it, you know, I don't know if he'll start with like just straight new guys, like kind of Cal recommended. By the way, if you did battle any of them new guys, you and Wusa would be fire. But I don't even think that's a necessity for real. But I do think getting some battles versus mid tiers, top tiers in a row.
You
don't like the Wusa battle?
Fuck out of
here. Okay. Go ahead.
Thumbs down.
It'd be competitive. But I see that you like battling, obviously, the Midwest legends. You know, that's been a big part. The T battle, the mission didn't get accomplished per se, and then the Will battle. I know the footage and whatnot is in limbo. But this idea of like battling Midwest legends and consistently calling out Cal, if you're really doing your shit in those battles, your Magic's in there as well. I don't think you battle AP, guys like that. If you want to fast track it, you think it's got that much pull. I think battling Midwest legends, not consecutively, but that's kind of
what I'm doing. But that's my path of of making the Calicoe battle make sense. It's not, but to go battle a Klutz or a Hansel or a Yunus, that's just off track. That's not even. That don't even. Why would I battle them to battle him?
Because are you trying to get the Calicoe battle, say on like Smoke Room Battle League or something like that? Or are you trying to get the Cal battle on?
I can get Calicoe on Smoke Room at any time. If I would love for it to be on a fucking volume or something like that, but I don't know if that's on the table. But if I can get it in Smoke Room or TOS right now, I can get it in Detroit right now. I could do that right now.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. He gonna show up with probably some bullshit, bro.
He wouldn't. They don't do Smoke. I'm sorry. I know that sentiment. I'm not a nigga that niggas do that with. Tell me one battle when a nigga showed up, it was like, oh, this is just a paycheck battle. That don't happen to folks. That's how Reed Dollaz is. That's how Reed Dollaz rap.
Bro, just say, yo,
talking about.
No, you said that's how Reed Dollaz rap, and he spent 3
brother, okay, so what battle was Reed Dollaz outstanding in? And then he seen Reed Dollaz treat every battle like that.
Wait, Lane, please. Reed Dollaz versus Rum Nitty and Reed Dollaz versus Ill Will, and then Reed Dollaz versus Tru Foe are 3 very different fucking battles, bro. But and that's not even your fault. That really got Reed on bullshit. But Reed choked all 3 rounds, bro. Do Reed choke all 3 rounds every battle? Kind of recently, but I mean, like that's not like.
So what you?
What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? Shut up.
But he showed up like it was a check.
No.
He treated everyone like a check.
It don't matter. That's one person. They don't. You named one that don't commonly happen. Niggas don't come to battle me and look at me like a check. I know Reed Dollaz was a check, and we might have gave him too much because that shit only got 28,000 views. So
to that point though, to that point though, I will say to that point, Reed is an anomaly because like I do feel like X Factor probably gave one of his better performances in a very long time against
Tru Foe.
So he might got a point with that in that regard. Reed is an anomaly. Yeah.
You don't know. You flip a coin and know if Reed gonna be good. Shout out to the legend, bro. But you never know. But Reed did treat it like a check. It's cool. That's just one nigga, bro. That don't really happen to me.
That's right. Core gave you a good fight. I did have Core winning the battle. I ain't going front, but it's a competitive battle. I don't think it's like no clear nothing. But so my thing is though, I'm sure you plan on that.
Not only that, I battled Core in Brooklyn. I battled X Factor in Detroit. I battled Froze in Philly. We not just going to take battles and they coming to the crib to see me. I'm going to see these niggas. This is shit y'all praise Swamp for. Swamp didn't join the crew. And you understand what I'm saying?
Very true.
That's probably a person you need to
here's the thing.
I battle Swamp.
But if we going to equate it to Swamp, so you got to equate the fact that he went out on like a big ass stage versus Rex and out drug barter. Like he doing impeccable shit that you couldn't deny is doing hundreds of thousands of views, and that's credit to like his work hitting louder because his work was hitting harder, bro. Like that's just the reality. The battles is more
I'm not here to debate. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Shout out to Swamp. I'm not here to debate if what he did. I make the most of the opportunities that I get. You understand? Some of the opportunities, me and my people, we go hustle and create them on our own. Now, to get on the URL stage, URL may feel like, man, you done dropped the ball on a couple battles, or woo out the band. All right, cool. But there's plenty of niggas do that. And they be back on the platform.
Okay.
And all that shit.
Closing arguments. Lang, what are your final? What is Lang and then Schmo? Lang, what is your message to Tru Foe in terms of the trajectory of his career moving forward? Final thoughts.
No, honestly, bro. When it comes to the Calicoe battle, first point, like he honestly could make it happen, but it's just the matter of like what you want the magnitude to be. Like I feel like from a regional standpoint, you know me, I'm gonna pull up if you and Cal get booked. But I'm from here, so obviously that means something to me. But like if you're talking like on a national scale, it was different when back then we had like Midwest massacres where like the Midwest on Midwest crime was like a huge deal. I don't feel like culturally is that same big of a deal for whatever reason. But honestly, again, I just feel like you have to battle the people that are like hot right now, kind of derail them, and then just build your claim from there. Because like the biggest way to like make noise is to just beat the people that are already making noise. So that's all.
If that's, but I could like, let's say it's that if the goal is to get it on URL and it's like that, I battle Swamp and Swervo, smoke them, and boom, let's get it. We can sell it. Ain't no need of battling Klutz and Ain't no need for that.
But Klutz is over Swervo right
now.
now. Like that.
But Tru Foe and Swervo make better sense than Klutz.
There's a history. There's a story.
I agree with that logic though, Tru Foe. But my thing is, let's say hypothetically you took like the URL route of it, right? There's a word where like you battle Swervo, you battle Swamp. I think one more legendary name in there, and it's like you take out one top tier after that. That's 3 battle streak on URL.
I've been trying to send me on a. I gotta go on a super mission for Smoke.
I'm not mad at that though. Give us one more name.
I'm not saying you even need to battle him, but that's the game look for you. That's
to get the hype up.
There's guys that did way more work to get Calicoe, bro. There's guys that have done way more work. Look at what Swamp had to fucking do to get Calicoe, bro.
What did he have to do?
Yo, he had to go all the way to UM5, debatably win that shit, lose the judge battle of it. This is after he already had one of the better million view PGs. We talking million view battles. That's some other shit. Like these are.
I mean, the game is different now, bro. The game different now. That also matters.
Like right now, that's the problem.
Yeah,
the game's
real fucked up now. But it's like
small leaks. That's not a good look, bro. Like that's not. You're not going to get the most out of that opportunity. You're going to overpay. You won't get less visibility.
I'm not gonna overpay shit. I'm gonna get paid, and he gonna get paid. Let's Smoke. I'm not
one to overpay. I'm gonna overpay, and y'all gonna get paid.
Smoke. I don't pay for battles, bro. Shout out to the people who pay for battles.
It don't make sense.
The solid one, I ain't getting enough money to pay a nigga to rap it. You know, I'm just not getting. I'm not there yet.
No, but look, this was great conversation. Can we agree? This is great conversation.
I'm always for the convo.
You know what I'm saying? It's great that we were able to hear everybody's perspective. Tru Foe, I appreciate you making the time to even pull up and have this conversation. So, was there anything else you wanted to add before we?
I just want to ask a question for real, because obviously you're still talking about battling Midwest legends and Calicoe. Someone, clearly that's something that we're looking at gunning for. But is there any other Midwest legends you want to take across that path?
JC, Marv won. JC, Marv,
Marfield,
Young Ill if he come back, Verb, you feel me? Yeah, there's plenty of them, all of them. My goal for the Midwest, me for the Midwest, I'm trying to have my name carved up with them. After that, it's gonna have to be a new mountain. You understand? That's how. So I'm down to battle all the Midwest legends. Young Miles, if he want to pop back out, whoever, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially the legends and any nigga who want to challenge the throne. Ain't nobody saying they want a Midwest throne until I start saying it. Now niggas is like, hold on, you can't say that. All right, well, make me shut up then. That's how I
we'll
feel
end it on that note. The new Midwest King, Tru Foe. Mo, appreciate your time. Lang, I appreciate your time, fellas. God bless everybody. And we out of here.